Alright guys, so today's video, I basically want to say that some of you guys were right, and I was wrong. When I originally did my review of the Liberty 2 Pros, I went on to say that I still felt that the Liberty 2s were the much better buy. But since Anker has now released the Soundcore Liberty 2 Pros in white, they sent out a pair to me, and I've spent a lot more time with them. And I have to say that the dynamic sound that these offer have grown on me to the point that where it makes a lot of the other earbuds I try sound kind of dull. But let's check out some of the features, what it is you get inside the box, and why I think it's worth the $150 price tag. So to start with, the main thing that stands out about these is they use dual drivers. They have the Knowles balanced armature driver, which is handling your mids and your highs, and then they have an 11mm dynamic driver, which is giving you some very in-your-face thumping bass. Now on the technology side, you have Bluetooth 5.0. They are using a Qualcomm 3020 chip, so it has aptX, AAC, and SBC playback. So you're getting some of the best Bluetooth quality right out of the box. Now, as far as what you're getting inside the box, you're getting 7 sets of silicone ear tips, which again, I've always said that having the right size ear tips is very important when using truly wireless earbuds. So the fact that these come with 7 means you're more than likely going to find one that fits you. On top of that, you're getting 3 sets of wing tips, and these do an excellent job of keeping them in your ear and keeping them from moving around, because I'm able to use these when I go play basketball or from going out running or jogging, and they don't fall out at all. And then on top of that, the charging cable that's included is a USB-C charging cable. Speaking of the charging cable, the battery life is also some of the best that I've seen on a pair of truly wireless earbuds, because on the earbuds individually you're getting around 8 hours, or with the case you're getting around 32. It also has the fast charge feature where a 10-minute charge is going to get you 2 hours worth of use. And then another bonus on top of that is the case itself is also a Qi wireless charging case, so you can come in and just drop it on any wireless charger and it will start charging. Now, speaking of the charging case, I really love the slim design of the case. It's not taking up a whole lot of space, but one of the designs I don't like is on the back where the USB-C charging port is. They have this little silicone flap. Now, some people may like that design. It's just something that I feel gets in the way and eventually is just going to break off anyway. And then around on the front of the case, you have 3 indicator lights so that you can kind of gauge about how much battery life is left on the case. But the design I really like on the case is the lid. It's a lid that just kind of slides open. It's not the usual open up and close with a hinge. It just simply slides open, and then you can see the earbuds. And the earbuds are a little bit larger than some of the other ones, and I think that mainly plays in the fact that it has dual drivers, but also because of where they place the buttons. Because these do use button controls, I like the fact that they put the buttons on top of the earbuds, so it's much easier to push and you don't feel like you're jamming them into your ear. And speaking of the button controls, this is a pro and a con at the same time, because you do have your play, pause, skipping your tracks forward, going backwards, but if you choose to have volume control, you have to sacrifice the ability to have the smart assistant control, and you have to do it within their app. So you basically have to choose what you want your controls to do, but you can't simply have all of them all at one time. And the app is very important, because on top of being able to do the different controls, you also have about 22 different EQ settings. And the fact that you're able to do that is a huge plus. Now, on top of that, for you guys that like to use your earbuds individually, you'll be happy to know that you can use either the left or the right. And then the microphones on here, they have 4 microphones total. And since they use the Qualcomm 3020 chip, they also have the CVC 8.0 technology, which basically means the microphones are focusing in on your voice and blocking out your surroundings. But you guys can be a judge by listening to a test here. Alright guys, so here is a mic test using the Liberty 2 Pros. I think overall these sound very good. I think at times it kind of sounds a little bit tinny, but for taking phone calls, this will do the job. And so now here is a mic test with a crowd noise being played in the background, which you can hear here. And so this is what it would sound like if you were to take a call in public. So now let's talk about the sound. The sound on these is what won me over and has basically made a lot of the other truly wireless earbuds I listen to sound pretty flat. because this is one of the most dynamic sounding pair of earbuds that you can possibly find. I don't know what they're doing, but the bass and the treble and the mid, everything is just in your face. So if you are wanting a flat sound signature, it doesn't even matter that they have all these different EQ settings. These are not possible to sound flat. You're just going to get bass that's punchy, it's thumping, it's not destroying the mids or the highs because there's so much detail in the clarity of the mids. You can hear male and female vocals extremely well. There's some nice separation between the vocalists and the instruments. Same thing with the treble. You're hearing a lot of subtle details. It gets pretty bright, but it kind of has to do that because of the presence of the bass that these have. And overall, it's a very fun earbud to listen to. Now, when it comes to the Soundstage and the sound imaging, this is not the most open pair of truly wireless earbuds that I've heard. I would say that they sound like you're in a medium to large size room, but being able to pick apart instruments and to feel that separation in instruments, these do very well. So if you want a much larger open sounding earbud, this may not be the pair. But again, this is a very dynamic pair that gives you that club feel, but it doesn't sound muddy or congested. Now, as great as I think these sound and as great as I think all of the features are, I do have a few cons. One is I'm gonna start with the price. I think for the $150 price tag, these are more than worth it, but you start to have competition that has active noise canceling where these don't. And on top of that, some are going to want a smaller design. Now, again, I can appreciate the design of these because I like the button placement and I like having those dual drivers. And then my only other complaint is going to be the bass. As much as I love the bass, I feel that a lot of people are gonna want the ability to maybe even flatten that out some, and these are just not capable of that. These are only capable of sounding in your face and dynamic no matter what EQ setting you choose. But guys, that's my video on the Soundcore Liberty 2 Pros. I figured I'd do another video on these since the white version is available, and my opinion on these have changed. I think these are well worth the $150, and I think that they are a better buy than the Liberty 2s, which I still think is a great buy at $100. But guys, thank you so much for checking out this video. Thank you so much for checking out all the other videos. And as always, make sure to stay tuned for more.